Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I'm not entirely sure that we're going to be able to hit this land. Hopefully we can, but it looks like we're probably going to be like right about here-ish when we land. We might be able to make some trajectory adjustments on the way down though. So we'll take a look at that. Also, one thing I noticed, this is a new play session, but one thing I noticed while checking out the last video is these were spinning freely, so let's go ahead and turn on brakes. That'll help. Okay, I'm just going to rotate a little bit like so. Flatten out that a bit. Excellent. And I'm going to go straight to horizontal velocity minus, because I really want to brake as fast as we can. We are still in a reasonable-ish position. We could maybe head that way a little bit, but we need to break off our horizontal speed ASAP. We're still going over 1 kilometer per second, and I really think we're going to miss this land. It is a wee bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're not going to be hitting the Atmo for a while yet, so there is that. Yeah, our horizontal speed just is not going down fast enough. It is what it is. We may do a second landing on Lathe later on, but I really should have just chosen a different time, gone around a couple times. I mean, we could theoretically activate these 2 engines, but I don't want to. Okay. Atmo is now going up. We'll grab a temperature scan, transmit that. Atmospheric pressure scan, transmit that. Atmospheric analysis. Ah! I am an idiot. Okay. Aero forces. I completely forgot about aero forces. Oh boy. Okay, so we are unable to do anything but surface velocity minus. That is fine. I think we're just going to burn this one up, call this one a loss. I should have come in at a different time. We'll see if we get anything landed. If we do, we'll have to transmit science using the built-in antenna, which is going to be a little awkward, but we do have a connection. So that should be fine-ish. I'm going to go ahead and fire off our drogue chutes if we can. We should not yet. Now we can. So let's deploy our drogue chutes. Slow down as much as we can with those. Excellent. We are definitely going to be hitting the liquid. There is no doubt about that right now. So we will keep this experiment. Cannot do that while stowed. So open this up. Keep the atmospheric analysis, restow this. There we go. Okay. Our altitude is not great, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And let's just go ahead and go straight to up. Okay, I think we're going up right now, are we? No, we're still going down. Fantastic. So let's turn on landing mode here. That's about to hit the ground there, well, the water. And let's go ahead and transmit what data we can, if we can. Let's see, antenna state is idle. Can we transmit with this antenna still? Unable to deploy. Okay, so in that case, the way we need to do this is to do it from the service bay. So we'll log the pressure data. Yep. Transmit that. No usable in-range comms devices. There is an antenna on this guy. Com first hop, 3.46 megameters. That would be why. We are connected to Nye Island through the Odd One Mark V, I think. Yeah. We just don't have the range with this thing. So I really messed this up. That's all there is to it. On multiple levels. It's my own fault. 100%. So we did get some world first milestones. The question is, should I own up to it and do another mission, which will take a while? Or should I just reload the save? Since it's a new play session, I can do that. We're still going to hit the water if I reload the save, I think. I mean, sure, we can land this thing. That's not a problem. We just can't get any data off with it. So something along the lines of this-ish. And I suspect in the interest of time, I'm just going to reload. I mean, it's not like it's difficult to get another one out here. One thing I could do to make it feel a bit less cheaty... Holy crap, that thing is, okay. Well, we splashed down. Excellent. Okay, the frame rate is, a bit low. It's now recovering. Okay. So, we have no way of transmitting anything, correct? Correct. Okay, so this thing costs like 300,000 to launch. So, in order to own up to this, one thing I could do to kind of... Don't mess this up. Oh my. In order to kind of have my cake and eat it too, is to load up the persistent save. Like so. And then... Come on. Hop on into the tracking station, and we've now reloaded the game. So let's pop open the Geraldo Mark II Semi-Atmo. And going to immediately throttle up. Come on, let me throttle up. There we go. I'm also going to activate these engines. Okay, this is fine. This direction is fine. I don't hate that. Okay. And then we'll deactivate these engines soon-ish. But on the way down, I'm going to pop open the cheat menu, and I'm going to subtract 300,000, since that's about how much this thing cost. So that's going to be the same result as if we had relaunched this. Essentially. Essentially the same result. Okay, how are we doing on fuel? We should probably cut these engines right about now. Okay. Come on over. Should have done that in the opposite direction, but it's fine. So we burned about half of that tank, and that will allow us to get at least closer to shore. What is our current horizontal speed? Still quite high, is the answer. That's a wee bit unfortunate. But we are going to get closer, and this time I'm not going to extend the antenna as we go through the atmosphere. That's the core difference. But at this point, we've skipped the flight back over here, which is nice, but we still subtracted the cost of this thing plus a little extra. Because I think this thing costs like 280,000? Something along those lines? Okay, so we are definitely still going to miss land, but that is acceptable. I'm willing to take that risk. All we need is science data from the surface, technically. I would like to have something permanent there, but I don't think that it will sink. I think it'll float forever. So we'll grab and keep a temperature scan, atmospheric pressure scan, and keep that. And we will do an atmospheric analysis. Keep that. Excellent. Okay, So it is now safe to deploy our drogue chutes, which I will do. Excellent. They will help us slow down substantially on the way down. So we are going to be closer to shore, but like I said, I really don't think that this thing has the thrust to weight to get to shore. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. And we're not even going to detach the sky crane, probably. We could try to use the sky crane to get to shore, although that might be a terrible idea without the drogues. It probably would be a terrible idea without the drogues. We're going to miss out on some flying low data. Or are we? I'm going to make a quick save here again. And extend this. Oh, deployment would destroy part. Okay, I thought we were maybe going slow enough that it would be fine, but apparently not. Well, thanks for watching out for me, KSP. Okay, drogues opened up. Gonna cut these engines and detach. And off we go. Suicide burn Delta V is going to be 200. We've got plenty for that. And we'll just wait until we get to the suicide burn location. Looks like the drogues have us falling at about 35 meters per second right now. That's fine. I would very much like to be over there. But with the drogues deployed, that's kind of a bad idea to try to go over there. But without the drogues being deployed, we wouldn't be able to kill our horizontal speed anywhere near as quickly. So I think it was just a bad insertion time, ultimately. I can't really go back and change that at this point other than to do a different launch, which we still may do. I still might drop Kerbals on Lathe. We'll have to see. If I do that, I will probably build a refueling station somewhere here in the Joule system. But that's kind of a long-term project, so we'll have to see how exactly that works. Looks like our suicide burn is going to be in a little over 12 seconds, since this is like more than 1 second per second. Thanks, drogue chutes. About 10 seconds according to this, so quite a lot more than that. We do see our shadow now. Excellent. Okay. 7 seconds. I'm gonna do it probably at 3. I'm starting to get antsy. I'm doing it. Okay. I want to be just to up. And let's drop some of our speed off. Excellent. This is nice. I don't hate this. Oop. I do kind of hate that. Okay, antenna is facing up. That is pretty much perfect. Let's turn the brakes on just in case. I have no idea what that does in the water. Probably nothing. We could attempt to swim to shore with our 600 meters per second. I'm not convinced that that's a great idea. But we certainly could try. Like, we could go like this. And, like, just ever so slowly glide towards the shore at, like, 1 meter per second. I do think this is maybe not the greatest idea. What happens when we get to shore? How do we get upright? These are some important questions. How long will it take to get to shore? Do we have enough Delta V to get to shore? I'm guessing we probably don't. I don't know. At any rate, we should transmit some data while we can. And we should also extend our solar panels so that we can have some power here. That would be nice. This is a little awkward, to be sure. Not enough electric charge, as expected. Let's see, are you allowing incomplete? Yes, you are. Okay. So we are transmitting data. I'm going to save the game here. Oh, cannot quick save while moving over the surface. Can we quick save now? Yes, we can. Fantastic. We'll stay at about 1 meter per second. And I just want to find out what happens if we physics warp. Is this a terrible idea? Probably. This is probably the worst idea I've ever had. Okay. Looks like very little happens, is the answer. We are physics warped up. We are not getting a huge amount of energy flow because our panels are underwater, technically, apparently. They don't look underwater to me, but whatever. So that's a big reason why we're not getting much for energy flow, and we are also almost out of liquid fuel and oxidizer. We have splashed down, but we have not yet received full data. Now, one thing we could do is, once we run out of fuel, we could hop back to the Space Center, or just do it here probably, and warp up an extremely high amount, so that way our electric charge fills, and we do this quickly. Okay. We are now out of fuel. So I'm going to go ahead and not be physics warping, because, like I said, I think it's a terrible idea. I'm going to quick save here, and let's just warp up to 1000x time. There we go. Fantastic. That got us some data transmitted. And you can go ahead and keep that antenna extended for now. And let's do a temperature scan and transmit. Atmospheric pressure scan and transmit. Mystery goo observation. Transmit. Yep, that'll break it. I'm well aware. And a gravity scan and transmit. Now that one's going to take actually no time. We had just enough electric charge to pull it off. Excellent. Contract complete. I will call that a successful mission. Oh boy. I couldn't say that one with a straight face. I'm sorry. That was a mission that was met with mixed success, shall we say. Let's see. Specific orbit of BOP. Do we have one around BOP right now? I don't actually know. Let's check. Let's see here. BOP. Yes, we have one around BOP. We do not need another one around BOP, I would say. Science data from space around Ike. That's incredibly easy. Okay. Bring a newly discovered Class B asteroid into an orbit around the moon. I will pass on that one for right now. Orbital station around Kerbal. We could do that. Orbital station around BOP. 3 engineers, facility supporting at least 10 Kerbals. 42 years to do this. Build the facility into a previously undisturbed Class E asteroid? Yeah, we'll not do that. If it wasn't for the previously undisturbed Class E asteroid, I would totally do this, because that's what I was thinking about doing anyway. Thank you, whoever the commenter was who pointed that out. If I'm going to land Kerbals on Lathe, we will probably put the... Who was that? Let me pull up my comments over here. Let's see here. Chris. That was Chris. Thank you for that suggestion, Chris. So, I would totally do it if it wasn't for this. I don't want to build it into an undisturbed Class E asteroid. Or do I? Like, where is one? Would that spawn one around Bop? In orbit of Bop, I don't know of a Class E asteroid there. We'd have to try to map one. It would certainly be outside the scope of this series. There is no doubt about that. I think what I'll do is I'll not accept this one quite yet. We'll go grab the science data from space around Ike real quick, which is going to be here. Nope, that's our lander. Here's our orbiter. This is an odd one Mark IV. And we are just going to go ahead and grab some science data here as soon as it lets me. Here's our barometer. We'll do that. Transmit. And there we go. There's that contract done. Fantastic. Lots of free money. Okay, so the next question is, what next? Do we try again on Lathe? I think I'm going to not do that just yet. I would love to do this. Let's hop into... because I've never actually done asteroid surveying before in KSP, let's hop into the VAB and see just how the Sentinel telescope works. Can we map asteroids from a very long distance, is the question. So, where's the Sentinel telescope? Here. Used to detect celestial bodies such as asteroids that may pose a risk to Kerbal. Maybe we have to have it in the orbital zone that we're looking for, like in the sphere of influence that we're looking for? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Let's see here. KSP Sentinel telescope. How does this work? Where will we need to have this is the question. So, let's see here. It must be in a solar orbit outside the sphere of influence of any other body. That's easy enough. When activated, it will scan for and display asteroids that are in the next widest planetary orbit. For example, to scan for asteroids around the orbit of Kerbal, the Sentinel must be placed in a solar orbit outside the sphere of influence of Kerbal and at a lower semi-major axis than Kerbal. The inclination, eccentricity, and longitude of ascending node also need to be close to matching the target planet. Okay. So we'd have to put it just outside Julian orbit. That's not the worst. Let's accept the contract. We can always decline it later. Let's accept this contract, and we will put up a Sentinel telescope and see what we can find for a Class E asteroid there. If we find a good Class E asteroid, we can always try. What's the worst that can happen? You saw how good I am at docking. This is gonna be great. Oh boy. Okay, so let's modify this off of an odd one. So let's do an odd one Mark V. There we go. And rather than this, how large is the infrared telescope? It's not enormous, undeployed at least. So rather than a relay antenna, we can have the Sentinel telescope here as the main component, and then we'll need some way to communicate. So we can do something along the lines of a Communitron 8888, and we'd be able to mount that, for example, right here. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we've got our telescope here. And this is basically going to be a new model of ship. And we will call this, I mean, I'm feeling particularly creative, so we will call this the Sentinel. That's not how you spell it. Sentinel Mark 1. Okay. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, but we're going to be trying something different. And that is going to be exciting. However, that will be in the next episode. See you all then.